Hello and welcome back to the dinner table. How are you guys? It's been a week without doing this. I miss you.
I know, but we did see each other because we were in Colorado for the whole week together. So it does feel like we were just next to each other. We decided not to bring the podcast cast equipment out there, unfortunately. But it could have been kind of fun just doing that. But we spent a really good week together. So it does feel like I was just seeing you, don't you think?
Yeah, it just feels like it's been a minute since we've talked sports, I guess. But yeah, we were together all week in Colorado. So much fun celebrating Kenna's graduation. But I feel like we just have like a lot to talk about sports wise. But first, let's just get a little update on how you guys are doing. How's your week, Cam?
Good, it's going well. I was gonna say I'm sick of you guys. I feel like we
Oh
had a
yeah.
long time out in Colorado.
Oh, interesting.
No, I'm joking.
Cameron.
Yeah, no, my week's going well. It's been busy. Club 52 in full force. We got our first ever Club 52 tournament this weekend that we're running. So we got boys and
Awesome.
girls Saturday, Sunday. We have some sweet rings we're gonna be passing out, and yeah, we're fired up.
Did you see the
Nice.
rings, Carly?
No.
They're so fun. First of all, we get like two boxes come in and it's like basketball rings on the side. I'm like, what is this for? Like, I had no idea. And I go to lift it up and it's like, like 30 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, this is so heavy. And then Cam's like, oh, those are our rings. I take them out. They're like sick. They're blue and yellow. Got some like diamond encrusted
Cool.
basketball and
2,500 for some rings, so they better be good.
isn't that cool?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I was in the middle of eating my Qdoba burrito bowl, but I stopped it to do this podcast. But I came back to work and I was like, Amber, it was so hard. They asked if I wanted chips. I said no, because I'm like trying to maybe not get the chips. I don't know. And then I look in the bag and all of a sudden I go, oh my God, they still gave me chips.
You were
Anyways,
so excited.
yeah, I ate the whole bag of chips.
Why I this is what I don't understand either. Like Noreen like tries to eat like healthier
No,
when
I mean,
I'm
I'm
like
not trying to eat healthy. I'm just like trying not to like I can get the burrito bowl isn't healthy, but like, do I need also the chips? Like, probably not.
I would be going crazy if I was you guys right now. Donuts, cake, like every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I know, but it's so hard, Cameron, because like you go in and then after you
you
have
never
the
get out.
baby though, like how hard it is to lose it.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
almost have to be like a little
Yeah, but
careful.
I'm saying you're putting it on either way, right?
yeah, but just a little bit cognizant. Like, I feel like you can't really diet during pregnancy. I don't know if anyone like that'd be impossible, but I feel like you can just be like a little careful about not overdoing it. But another baby thing today is I've just been in it with the daycare thing. Like, I called or I voice memoed Noreen today. We talked about it. Just like researching all the things. So, I feel like an adult. Like it's like crazy. Even
What
calling.
what's your plan with the daycare?
I mean, I'm gonna have to do daycare. Maybe in January. So you can do like part-time or full-time or whatever. But I honestly felt I for the first time I felt like so old because I was like, hi, like, what's your availability and pricing? They're like, oh, how old is he gonna be? I'm like 5 months. Like, I'm like, am I lying? I literally feel like I'm like telling a fib. Like, this is like the weirdest thing.
No,
But
it's got to be
but
so strange.
it is. But there it was really good. She's like, well, we're on a year wait list. So I mean, I'm glad I called.
No, but Cameron, you'll never believe. So she
Oh yeah.
she calls the daycare and the person that answers her name, Janet. And
No.
and for everyone listening or watching, our daycare lady's name was Janet, and she actually became our babysitter and babysat us for like what first 5 years of your guys' lives. Like
Yep.
it was the craziest thing. And then she knew Carly, and she's like, "This is my name's Janet, and my son or daughter played with McKenna or whatever." And Carly's like, "Oh my God! First of all, your name's Janet, and second of all, you know me. Like this is crazy." So every
Yeah.
daycare person out there that runs a daycare's name is Janet, apparently.
Yeah.
We used to watch Chuck Norris Texas Ranger with Janet back in the day.
That's
Janet.
so good. Good
She was
times.
great. Yeah.
Now
So
your little
that's
baby is
what's up.
gonna have a Janet himself.
I know. I
That's
know.
good.
Hopefully right next to baby Murata in the same daycare. So we'll see.
Are you looking for Mequon daycares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking at I have to somehow like make some moves here. Honestly. I've been in like nomad's land for so long. I'm just like trying to make some moves. So, yeah,
Yeah, nice.
you can pick him up after Club 52 if that works.
Perfect. I can't wait, actually.
I
I'm
know.
gonna
Same.
feel like I have two kids,
Yeah,
which
I
is
no,
fun.
seriously. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what's up. Anything else with you guys before we get into the sports topics?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. I thought maybe I had something more exciting, but nope.
Nope, nothing.
Boring,
Cameron,
boring.
Cameron, Cameron's done with the talk.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're talking about on this week's episode of The Dinner Table. Giannis's future with the Bucks, the NBA playoffs, and Jason Tatum's injury, the Packers schedule, the biggest takeaways from that, Caleb Williams, and what was revealed in this book that is written about him and other quarterbacks. And if we get to it, we'll talk about the PGA Championship. So let's go. So starting with Giannis, we talked about this a little bit on our last podcast, I believe. But since then, Shams Charania of ESPN said that Giannis is open-minded towards a trade this offseason. I don't even know what that report is because that seems pretty easy to make that report. Like he's not really saying anything substantial. But what do you guys think about it?
I think it's Giannis being very respectful of the Bucks organization, just saying, "Look, I'm not gonna, tie you guys down. If you do want to trade me, fine." Him saying that he's not demanding a trade means that, look, I still enjoy my time here in Milwaukee as well. And when you hear his teammates like Bobby Portis or former teammate Patrick Beverly talk about him, they make it seem like it would never leave, that he's loyal as can be. And obviously we already know that, but just hearing it from teammates who are like, no, he's not leaving. He loves Milwaukee. I think he's just given the Bucks an out where so we don't have a Luka Doncic situation where if we do end up trading him, the fan base goes crazy and blames the ownership and all that. Like I think he understands the position that we're in, and I think he wants to stay with the Bucks, but he's just saying, look, if you do trade me, I am open to a trade.
There's an
So you're not
understanding.
thinking, you guys aren't thinking that, like, you're not thinking Giannis wants to leave, then it doesn't sound like. Because he did post that thing on Instagram that was like right after the season ended that was like insinuating that he wanted to stay.
Yeah, I think he wants to stay as well, but I think he understands the position that the Bucks are in. I don't think he would ever demand a trade. I think it would have to be like the Bucks are trading you, and then he might be fine with, yeah, okay, they traded me to a team where I can go win. Yeah, sure, that's great, and I'm sure the Bucks will do well by Giannis, but he's never going to be the guy that comes out and says trade me like James Harden or something like that.
He's also not a guy that's just gonna like switch up. He's always said that he's like, loyal and no matter what the money comes across, no matter what the situation is, it's like he's always been that type of way. And he's not the type of guy to switch up on it. So I think he's just, staying to his word, staying true to what he's said for the last how many years he's been in Milwaukee.
So if he did demand a trade or asked for a trade, how should Bucks fans feel about that?
So I don't think he would though. I'm saying he's not going to demand a trade. I think what he did now is saying like, the Bucks can
I
trade me
know,
and it's
but like you
fine.
don't really know that. So like what if he
So
does?
you're saying what if the Bucks decide to trade him?
Yeah, but then that's more on the Bucks. So it's like, well, either way, I guess if the Bucks decide to trade him, or if for some reason Giannis does feel like he's better off elsewhere, how
Yeah.
should Bucks fans feel?
We've had this conversation, and I think the Bucks fans, well, first off, fans in general do not deal with their emotions well. In general, I would say they don't use their brains. They use their hearts for these teams. That's why they're called fans, fanatics for a reason. So they'll be very disappointed that he's leaving. I mean, obviously he's got the one championship in so many years, and he's been a hero for Milwaukee Bucks fans. But we're in a bad situation right now. Giannis is prime, although I think he still has 3, 4 great years left in him. He's definitely probably, his prime is in the rear view mirror. And yeah, like we got to make some moves here if we want to be around and in contention for, the next 10, 15 years.
I think
Chloe, how do you
everyone,
feel?
I just, from the emotional side, like I think everyone's going to be sad, right? But I don't think it's going to be like a burning of the jersey type of sad or like the, booing when Giannis comes back to Milwaukee. Like there's some mutual respect here that we want our team to be at the highest level that it can be at, and so does he, frankly. I mean, like if he leaves, if he demands a trade, he's still wishing good for Milwaukee, and that's just how he is as a person. So I think there's just always going to be this love for him and for when he comes back to Milwaukee if he goes to a different team. And I think there's going to be a lot of Milwaukee residents just truthfully sad, but not mad, not disappointed, like your mom would say.
Bucks fans
Yeah.
would be idiots to, burn jerseys or, boo him. That would be absolutely ridiculous. The guy's already done more than enough for us. He's done more than any free agent by sticking around with the Bucks too. Like I don't remember any free agent of his caliber ever even wanting to stick around with the Bucks. I mean, we had Ray Allen's and Gary Payton's, and those guys weren't even on his level, but he's already paid us back and then some. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely does not owe Milwaukee anything, and I think Bucks fans owe him everything. And if he were to be in another jersey, I would be in the stands rooting for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Gosh, I even root for Aaron Rodgers. So,
Exactly.
all right. So I totally agree. Okay, let's talk more about the NBA playoffs. Obviously, we saw recently first Damian Lillard tears his Achilles tendon, and then Jayson Tatum ruptures his. So it's just been brutal watching these stars go down. But like, I just think it's interesting how this type of injury can impact a franchise because they miss the whole next season. So, any thoughts on that perspective?
I think when it came down to Damian Lillard, it was kind of one of those things like, all right, like we said, all right, that's probably it for the Bucks, and like that's unfortunate and that's our star and so on and so forth. For the Celtics, like obviously Jayson Tatum is who he is and what he does for the team, but with the guys he has aside him, you're almost like, okay, there still might be okay because they're that talented of the group. But obviously for the next upcoming year and some of the changes that these teams are going to make, you're going to want your star in Jayson Tatum to compete against some of these other teams as well. So obviously it's going to hurt the franchise. However, I think it hurts the Bucks more than it hurts the Celtics.
Yeah, but it obviously, like you said, it sucks for both teams. I
Yeah.
mean, having Jayson Tatum out, having Dame out, it's just brutal, and especially the timing of it. Like Carly mentioned, to do it in the playoffs, you miss all of next season as well, and the most important part of the season for this year, which is like, if Dame were to do this or have another injury where he missed like the whole regular season but was back for the playoffs, like it wouldn't even be a big deal at all.
Right.
Like you want these guys around for the big moments, and they're here now, and to have him tear his Achilles and then miss all of next year, he won't be back for the playoffs next year most likely either. So
And as much as
it,
we want that, like, think about these players who play these boring 80 games. They're so sick and tired of it. They're literally
Seriously.
like, this sucks. Like, all I want to do is get to the playoffs. And now Steph Curry gets hurt. Damian Lillard gets hurt. Jayson Tatum gets hurt. Like, it's like all the stars. You're like, what the heck? We just got here.
I had an interesting conversation with Coach Prunty the other day. Obviously, coach for the Bucks, but his son plays for Club 52. He's at all of our practices. The guy loves ball, and we were just talking about how like it seems like there's more Achilles injuries now than ever.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for it? And he kind of brought up the thought, and this isn't just he's not the only one who thinks like this, but these guys just don't practice as much. As they did in, the early 2000s and then even in the 90s where, these guys are practicing hard year round and they're staying in tip-top peak shape and their bodies are used to grinding on a day-to-day basis so that when the playoffs come around, they're sharp as can be. Obviously nowadays guys are sitting out practice more. They're not practicing as hard nearly all year round, and, they might sit out certain games and so now when it comes to playoff time and you're ramping it up and you've been practicing at this level all year long or not practicing at all, and then all of a sudden you shock your system with how hard these playoff games have been contested. I think it just leads to more injuries in general, not just Achilles tears, but it's definitely got to be some sort of, back into that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you guys think the series is over, or do you think the Celtics have a chance against the Knicks?
The Knicks better not lose Game 6. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, seriously.
It's definitely not over. I mean, the Celtics. I'll be interested to see who's favored in that game. I think it'll be the Knicks, but only by a couple of points. I mean, it's probably already out, but the Celtics can easily go in there and win. And you know what? People aren't talking about this, but having Sam Hauser back is a big deal for
Mhm.
the Celtics. I mean, he comes in, he can hit a couple threes that they were going on streaks where they're missing a bunch in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter that caused them to go cold. Um, he can. They just need one guy to end that cold streak, and they're good to go. So I think the Celtics are definitely not out of this thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, how fun though. Like just these if you're talking about the Celtics, the Pacers, the Knicks, the way that they've been playing these last
Hmm.
couple games, it is
So
just
much fun to
so
watch.
fun to watch. The young,
Who
the
who would you guys take to win
Timberwolves.
it right now?
Um, oh my gosh, it's hard. I feel like there's not like a clear winner. Um,
I mean,
Not the Celtics.
the Pacers are
Yeah,
looking
maybe the Pacers, which is crazy.
unbelievable. Like their second quarter the other night when it was 80-39 at halftime, I've never seen anything like it. They couldn't miss. And I don't want to say that they're going to win it, but they have a high probability. Like they are playing at a very, very high level.
Yeah, I mean they're the team right now in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're getting a ton of rest, and they've probably been playing the best in the playoffs out of anyone in the East. I would say probably Oklahoma City is my team
I
to
was
win
gonna
it right
ask
now.
about the Thunder. Are they like not being talked about enough, or is that just me? Because I feel like these other series are more exciting. Like I'm
They're
not
not getting
excited for
talked about.
Nuggets Thunder.
They're not getting
Yeah.
talked
Well,
about enough.
that Nuggets Thunder series is a great series, though.
It's a
Okay,
great
is it just?
series, but
But it's on at midnight, so it's
It's
like,
on really late, exactly.
yeah.
Did you guys didn't see the shot that Jokic hit the other night to tie the
Oh,
game
the
up?
3-pointer
yeah.
Oh my God. I was sitting here I was
just
just
chucks it.
I was just laughing. It's like
Yeah,
it's insane. He
it's crazy.
dominated that game to the best of his ability, and the Nuggets still couldn't pull out a win. And I can't wait for the game tonight actually. But
Yeah.
yeah, like Oklahoma City is legit, and they're legit 1 through 10. They
Yeah.
play deep. I think they wear you down in these series too. I
Mhm.
mean, Minnesota Timberwolves to an extent as well, but I think Ants gets a little tired, and I don't know if Julius Randle's been playing phenomenally, but I don't know if he can continue it for this long, especially against a little bit better of a defensive team, and I think Oklahoma City. So I would give the slight edge to Oklahoma City Thunder right now, but I would say second, the Pacers have been great, and I think the
Mhm.
Pacers are going to beat whoever comes out of that Knicks Celtics series, and I
Mhm.
think they're going to go to the finals against potentially Oklahoma City Thunder. So.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Which is a fun series, a
It's
fun finals.
just yeah, it's so
Yeah.
young, like there's
Pacers Knicks, like those games
Yeah.
are gonna be a battle.
I might have to go out to Madison Square Garden for $10,000 in my ticket.
I was gonna say, good luck.
And then
Nosebleeds are 1,000.
I was gonna say nosebleed 10 grand though. Like that place in the Big East tournament's amazing. To be in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pacers, like
Yeah.
in Madison Square,
Yeah.
Garden, it might be the sickest thing ever.
Yeah, well, it brings up Reggie Miller, the
Yeah.
choke game, and yeah, and Patrick Ewing and John Starks. Yeah, it's the whole deal.
And Kylie and Timothy Chalamet are
You're
front.
taking the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
I was gonna say that too, and they had him baseline though. Did you see that? They're kind of being a little disrespectful to him.
Had them
What do you mean?
baseline. They weren't on the sideline
Oh,
sideline courtside. They were on baseline courtside.
oh, okay. Baseline
I,
isn't as cool.
I see they say it's not as cool. I mean, obviously great seats still, but you're not like, you're not prime center there where Ben Stiller's sitting. I'm like, how do they decide though
Who
who
gets the
gets the
seats?
tickets? Because they're giving tickets to all the former players too. So like Patrick Ewing gets tickets, Stephon Marbury gets tickets, Amari Stoudemire was at the game, like, and then all of a sudden you have every celebrity in the world in New York
And
City.
Cardi
It's like
B and Stefan
Cardi
Diggs.
B, Stephon Diggs, the Kardashians. It's like who gets, and then don't forget the season ticket holders that have actual courtside seats. So I
Right.
wonder how they divide those up.
I saw this tweet and it was like Timothy Chalamet turned two LA True and Trues to like Knicks fans or something like that. It was so funny. Like Kylie and
He's a god.
yeah, he's a god.
You guys like his style?
I think he's cute. Like he's just like a cute little pinch your cheek. I don't really think he's like a wow, look at that style. But
He is a cute little pinch of cheek.
yeah, he is. Chalamet.
I like his style.
Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
All right.
You think I could go just mustache like him?
No.
Probably not.
You don't
No.
think so?
He doesn't look as Guido as you do.
Yeah, I think I could go just mustache though.
I know. You've been asking me for the last couple months.
I've been thinking about pulling the trigger. If you guys see me on June 25th when the baby's born with just a mustache,
No.
look out.
He comes out.
First thing baby sees.
Yeah. Hola, papi.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about the Packers schedule because it's always fun when the NFL releases the schedule. So that's out, and the Packers schedule is actually the fifth hardest in the league in terms of opponents' winning percentage the season before. Um, so
Should we go win loss to this thing?
yeah, I can let me say the week and then give me your win loss.
Okay.
Okay, then we got to keep track of the wins and losses so we know what it is at the end.
All right. Week 1 versus Detroit Lions.
God, we just can never beat them. I want to say win, but we haven't beat them in so long. I'm gonna say a loss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right.
Just roll through with Cam in this one.
All right. And Chloe, you're going to keep track.
Okay. 0-1.
Okay. Week 2 versus Commanders.
But we're gonna put that as a win. We're gonna win one of those two games. So if it's Detroit or not, we're gonna go 1-1 probably in those first two.
Okay.
All right. At Browns for week 3.
Win,
At Cowboys Sunday Night Football week 4.
win, because I like going into the bye with a win. So we're gonna win
Nice.
that one.
3-1.
Early bye week 5. Just pointing that out. All right. Week 6.
Sucks, by the way. You never want an early bye week.
Yeah. Week 6 against Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah, we'll take a win there. Coming off the bye, everyone's healthy, feeling ourselves a little bit. We'll take the win in Cincinnati, although not. It's gonna be easy.
And it's actually at Lambeau, so
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, that's automatic win.
yeah.
We have
Week
a lot
7,
of home games at first, so we go.
Yeah.
Oh, first 3 in the first 5. Not a,
Yeah. All right. Week 7, we're on the road at Arizona.
win.
Yeah. Okay. Then big matchup here. Week 8 at Pittsburgh. Another Sunday Night Football. Maybe a reunion with Aaron Rodgers.
That's gonna be a loss,
Ooh. 5-2.
and I got a feeling it's just gonna be like Packers when they played the Vikings with Brett Favre. Rodgers is gonna be his old self again, unfortunately, but it's gonna happen at Pittsburgh. It can be a tough game.
Week 9 against the Panthers.
That's a win.
Yep. Week 10 against the Eagles. Monday Night Football at Lambeau. Redemption? No.
I don't think so either. Yeah, it's a loss.
All right.
6-3.
Week 11 at Giants. Like, is this like all like you see all your division games come in? You got
Mhm.
week 11 at Giants. Like,
You slip
maybe
up.
yeah. Or is it
I
not
don't
that
think
type of
so.
team?
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think we're gonna find a way to win that one, coming off a loss to get to the Eagles.
Okay.
And now
Um,
this is when it gets dicey.
Yeah, all right. Now we're going into a tough end of the season. Week 12, we host the Vikings.
We get that one. We got to. It's like a must win almost. I'm already looking at that right now. It's circle that for next year as a must win.
Then we go on the road to face Detroit.
That's gonna be a loss in Detroit, unless they're as banged up as they were last year heading down the stretch.
What's our record right now, Chloe?
8-4.
All right. Week 14, Bears in town.
Win,
Week 15 on the road at the Broncos.
win.
What's the Broncos quarterback situation again?
Bo Nix,
Okay. Win.
he's solid, serviceable.
Okay. Week 16, then we go on the road to Chicago. You think we're going to sweep
I'll
them?
say we lose to the Bears on the road.
Okay.
10-5.
And then, all right. Week 17, hosting Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
We'll take that win.
And then we end the season at the Vikings.
I think the Vikings are going to be down a little bit this year. Not as good as last year. We're going to take that win against Minnesota.
So you think we'll split with them?
I think we split with them. I think we split with the Bears. I think we go 0-2 against the Lions.
Okay. What's our final record, Chloe?
12-5.
Okay.
That would be a similar year to last year. Not doing as well in the NFC North, but kind of, doing well against all of our non-conference opponents.
I just feel like we need to do better than that. We've had like the same couple years here, so we need some big wins in there.
Should
like,
we go through it
need to
again?
win- No, no, but we need to win.
Let's
against
give some
the
more
Eagles.
losses to the. I know. Let's give more losses to the non-conference and then win all the conference games. I'd
Yeah.
be fine with that.
Yeah.
I think that was the typical answers you would have given to a schedule, like not really too bold in there. I think a lot of people probably
Yeah.
have him at 12-5 looking
Yeah,
at that schedule.
I'm sure maybe even a little worse because of how it is a tough schedule. I mean, we could
Yeah,
easily lose to the Dallas Cowboys. We could easily go 0-2 to start off against Detroit and Washington. Both those teams are
totally.
going to be good. And then there's always one or two games where you slip up against a lesser opponent.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and you didn't give him any of those.
yeah, no, we're
Um,
going to be on our P's and Q's all year long. Healthy as can be. Jordan Love MVP, baby.
all right, and at least this isn't our quarterback, Caleb Williams for the Bears. There is a new book that came out from ESPN's Seth Wickersham detailing quarterbacks and whatnot. According to the book, Williams decided he wanted to be drafted by the Vikings after connecting with Kevin O'Connell at the combine, but Bears general manager Ryan Poles told Williams that Chicago would be drafting him no matter what. He didn't want to go to the Bears, basically. And Williams later changed his mind on the Bears after a pre-draft meeting, according to the book. Sorry. Anyways, he said that no one tells him what to watch during film. He just turns it on. He's excited about Ben Johnson, though. So all of that to be said, he's happier now. But like, aren't you happy this isn't our quarterback? Like, I don't want this coming out about our quarterback not
Sounds
wanting
like
to
a
be.
great culture over there.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing though? Like, he can't watch film with someone telling him what to look at.
Dan Orlovsky was like floored by that. He was literally like, "What do you mean? Like this guy isn't getting told what to do and what to watch?"
He's not
during
being
film?"
coached.
Yeah, yeah.
It just sounds like a bad. I mean,
It's either he's not coachable or there's no
Yeah.
coaches
Yeah.
there.
and I hate the prima donna stuff from him. Like in like even saying to like, I don't want to be drafted number one overall to the. I don't care if it's the Bears or the Jacksonville Jaguars or whoever. Like going number one overall to anybody is like you don't get to just pick and choose that. I hate when players are saying that. You
Okay,
know.
wasn't there rumors about Cooper Flag like maybe not wanting to go to the Mavs? But he doesn't say it in interviews or anything like that. But wasn't there stuff on Twitter about like
Oh,
him wanting
not
to
the
go to the
Mavs. I don't
Spurs?
think.
Doesn't he
Well,
want to?
I think people were wanting him to go to the Spurs, but I think
He
uh,
didn't say anything like
he
that.
he didn't say anything like that. No, I mean the Mavs
Okay,
are a great organization to go
I
to,
was
right?
yeah. I thought his like dad or agent was like saying stuff like that, but
I think they would have maybe said something if it was like the Charlotte Hornets that got the number one pick.
yeah. But isn't Irving out all next year?
Yeah, Kyrie's gonna be out for a while. He tore his ACL, so he won't be out for the whole season, but he'll be out for a majority of it. We'll see if they are doing well. Maybe he comes back. Anthony Davis will be back.
Okay. Yeah. It's exciting.
Kylie's not. She's not high on Anthony Davis.
I'm like,
AD.
oh, perfect. He must be like
He'll
just
be
so
hurt
thrilled.
again though, so don't worry about it. It's crazy.
People do think the Bucks should try and trade Giannis to the Mavs for Cooper Flag, but
I
that
don't
is
hate
the
it.
They're gonna
national
need.
media.
They're gonna need a lot more than just Cooper Flag, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more than Cooper Flag. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you guys seen what some of these superstars have gone for in terms of like first round picks? I mean, Paul George, when he was traded from OKC to the Clippers, went for like 5 first round picks, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
Oh,
was in
damn.
the trade too. It was like SGA, Danilo Gallinari, and like 5 first round picks.
So we're gonna get a lot for Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, Bucks fans talk about that. Like they cannot be unhappy if we were getting like a load like that.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Plus, like, if Carly, like, obviously this would never happen, but if you just get Cooper Flag, then it's like a baby Giannis. Do you know what I mean? Like that can
Right.
shoot it. So it's like, okay,
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna be Giannis.
no, that's what I'm talking about. So you trade someone to get a baby version of him that's never gonna be him.
Yeah, and it's like after what his rookie contract is over, is he gonna stay in Milwaukee?
Yeah,
Right.
Will he stay?
I mean,
or will
he is
go?
from Maine, so that gives me a little more hope. But
Why?
just because like he's not already from LA or New York, he's not
Oh,
already
no,
from
I
LA.
thought he was gonna say like he's like from
I'm saying
Chicago.
he's not from like a big city already, so
Okay.
you wouldn't be nervous about him like can't wait to go back to my hometown big
Okay,
city.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I
but
got
maybe
you.
Celtics.
Yeah, he would definitely leave
Yeah.
us for the Celtics.
I was gonna say. I mean, he probably would love to be there. That's like his
Oh
home.
God, he would be great with the Celtics.
I know he'd be terrific.
Any good white player.
Yeah, just terrific.
Um, okay, we're ending this on the PGA Championship. First of all, have you guys seen the leaderboard? I was
Oh,
like,
did my light
is this the right?
die?
Don't worry about it. Um, have you guys looked at the leaderboard for this? I was like, am I looking at the right tournament? I didn't know like any names in the top 10.
Well, there was a big issue today with the ruling that they gave. Did you see that?
Well, the whole mudball thing or no?
Yeah,
Well,
mudball.
that's what I wanted to ask you about. Like Scheffler's mad,
Yeah,
Schauffele's mad. So like
because
what's the
it's
deal with the
stupid.
mudball? Can you explain it?
Yeah, so in golf, all right, when it rains or the night before it rains and
It
the
pours.
course is a little wet, yeah, it rains, it pours, But so what you do is like when you're playing amateur golf, and the fairway's a little muddy, you say, are we like we're gonna play lift, clean, and place today. So if you hit it in the fairway, you can pick up your ball, you can clean it off, and then place it back down in the same spot it was in.
Right.
If you're in the rough, there's no lift, clean, and place, so you got to hit it out of the rough regardless. You can't clean up your ball. The reason being is in the fairway, obviously, you shouldn't be penalized for hitting a drive in the fairway that a ball has a ton of mud on it. Because if you hit a ball that has a ton of mud on it, you really have no idea where it's going. Even if you hit a great shot, the mud can cause the rotation of the ball to spin in the air differently and can go left to right or right to left. You really have no feel for it. It's just a guessing game. And so that's what Scotty was saying today. I mean, he's like, I'm playing well. I hit the ball in the fairway. My ball's covered in mud. They said that they're not going to give a lift clean in place ruling. So that's kind of why you see a leaderboard like this because it's more not luck. Obviously, Vegas and Gerard and Davis and Donald all had to play well to be at the top, but
You know them, Chloe?
Scotty's
Vegas,
probably
Gerard,
hits
Davis,
yeah
Donald, Fox. That's her top five.
Smalley, Jagger,
Molly, Jaeger,
Dry.
Ray. Yeah. When do you get to someone you know? Like literally.
Well, Jonathan Vegas. I know Jonathan Vegas.
Yeah, I know Las Vegas.
I don't know
Jonathan,
I don't know Gerard Ryan Gerard, never heard of him. Obviously Luke Donald has been a major champion before, but he's
Obviously.
old. I mean, Carly, he was the Ryder Cup captain for the European team.
Okay, I am just like not seeing names that normally stand out here. We got
Yeah.
Scheffler tied for 20th. That's like the first person I literally.
Well, Matt Fitzpatrick is in there.
Okay, Keegan Bradley, is that his name?
Yep.
Oh, I knew him. Okay, tied for ninth.
Yeah.
Keegan Bradley.
Terrell Hatton.
And it's all because of this mud ball. Like, I'm sorry, BS. Like,
Well,
no, okay, but Fitzpatrick or whatever we just said didn't have a mud ball once in a blue moon. Like,
no, but look, they all have mud balls, but the thing is, it's you don't know what's gonna happen with your shot. Like you can hit a great shot and the mud ball fucks you up.
and it's not effing up these other guys.
No, it just it's just the luck of the draw basically. Like you
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler could have hit some mud balls that went they just end up going straight, but sometimes it doesn't.
Seems like we're like crying though.
No, this is a valid point. If you were a golfer, you'd understand this. Like everybody's like, yeah, we're playing lift clean in place. Obviously, I don't want that to affect my shot. Like you shouldn't have. If you hit it in the fairway, there should be no
LCP.
penalty.
I was gonna say, can we come up with like an abbreviation? Lip clean in place. Like when you said it originally, I was like, huh? I was
I
like,
know that because it's not even the proper term. I was reading the article and
Oh.
I can't think of what it is actually.
okay, but they definitely need an LCP on that ball.
Yeah, you got to LCP it out there when it's muddy.
Yeah.
Good news is, Chloe, you're going to be missing the end of the PGA Championship because you're going to be coming to my baby shower in Madison. So at least you don't know any of the people.
Honestly, I might specifically watch for mud balls. I would die to see it covered in mud and see which way it goes.
I'm gonna send you guys this video. There's the funniest video on social media that Scratch Golf always puts out when people hit mud balls, and it's just like a whole thing of these players hit mud balls, and all they do is they go. As soon as they hit it, it looks like a good shot, and they just go mud ball. It's like off the left to the right and stuff. And Bubba Watson has like this whole like he screams mud ball all the time.
Mud ball. That's good.
All right. Be sure to send us that.
I will. We could even put it in here maybe.
No.
All right.
There's more work for Chloe.
Yeah. No thanks.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching the dinner table. We will see you next week.
Thanks.